Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Rundown, episode number 2, of course. My name is Promise, and thank you for continuing to check out the stuff that I'm putting up on YouTube. This is a weekly episode that I'm going to be doing. I kind of talked about it in the episode last week, which was the first episode to kind of debut this whole thing. We are going to be looking at the top 5 things that are happening in the StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm community. This can be news, this can be player pickups, this can be player retirements, this can be tournament announcements, this can be caster announcement, this can be a whole bunch of stuff that's going to keep you guys updated on YouTube, of course, for the things that are happening in StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. As you guys can see my current background right now, this is going to be coming in as number 5 for this week's Rundown, episode number 2. This is going to be Quantic Gaming welcomes TREME Extreme. I think his name was like Extreme, but it came from the Xenix tag because it like rolled perfectly with the actual name of his ID. But this is some pretty big news. Not the biggest news, but something I want to note, because Quantic Gaming has been a team that's been around for quite some time. It's come and gone. A lot of players have left, a lot of others have been picked up. It's becoming a lot more of a community team where they have their academy going on, and just a lot of cool, exciting things, I'm hoping at least, should be announced from Quantic Gaming and from their staff and their management team. So, pretty big news, of course. TREME is a Protoss player, used to be on the team Xenix. You guys are welcome to check this out. Everything that I get from these sources is on Team Liquid or from Reddit.com. Follow him on Twitter, right there, Quantic Extreme. Check out Quantic Gaming. Check out their lineup. They have very, very solid players like Apocalypse, like Hwang Sin, and like Hyun. So, really, really good team. Quite a good amount of Koreans currently do play for Quantic. So that's going to come in as number 5. Now, next thing is going to be number 4, which is going to be this thing right here that I talked about last week. And a lot of people were just not thinking this was ever going to happen. MLG Anaheim is a tournament, or just MLGs in general, put up such an amazing circuit that they used to do, you know, quite a good amount of, they just did it a lot over the period of a year. They had like 5 events in a year or something like that. But this is some big news. MLG Anaheim, of course, as I mentioned in the previous video, it is happening. Now, what I want to talk about is who is actually going to be casting and commentating this event. You guys can see right here on this thread, it is going to be DJ Wheat. That's, of course, Marcus Graham, a guy that I quite honestly respect quite a bit. I like the way he casts. He's done so much for the community. Of course, he's working over at Twitch.tv right now in the San Francisco offices, just back home. I guess he just goes back home and comes to San Francisco whenever he decides to do that. But just a guy that I respect a lot in the StarCraft 2 community, and he does a lot of League of Legends stuff as well. So, second person, Day9, doesn't really need an introduction. Day9, kind of the guy that's known for the daily that he did for a very, very long time. I don't know if he's reached the 500th episode yet, but he's definitely been working his butt off in terms of having some sort of consistent content early on when not a lot of StarCraft 2 replay analysis kind of things are going on. Total Biscuit, of course, huge fan base on YouTube, and a pretty good play-by-play caster for StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm. I mean, it's just his voice. His voice is like chocolate melting in your mouth, man. I just love listening to that guy's voice, and he's definitely getting a lot better when it comes to play-by-play and, of course, analyzing the game of StarCraft 2. Axel Toss, of course, a guy that I've casted with a little bit before he joined with MLG, and Axlab, a amazing, top-notch, he's an analytical caster and used to be a professional gamer for the team Evil Geniuses before, of course, he got signed onto MLG. So there's the caster lineup. You guys are welcome to click on this link right here, which I am not going to click on, but again, just teamliquid.net is where I get all this information. This is going to be a sick event, MLG Anaheim. I will definitely be there. You guys are welcome to come by, say hi, or say whatever you want if you happen to see me. I'm not famous or anything, but if you recognize me, you guys are welcome to come say hi. I'll definitely say hi back to you. So, next thing here is going to be number 3 for this week's Rundown, which is going to be Demaga is going to get a personal sponsorship by Rocket. Could be a whole bunch of things. It's going to be a personal sponsorship, and I am actually so happy for Demaga to be able to get the opportunity to get this kind of a sponsorship. This is sort of, I don't want to say it's the future of StarCraft 2 or just gaming in general, but there is a lot of people leaving teams, staying, not on a team for a very long time, which is, in other words, teamless for maybe 3-4 months, and all of a sudden, boom, they get a personal sponsorship. CM Storm, of course, is a personal sponsor of Polt. They're a sponsor of Panda Tank, who's a European Protoss, and now we're seeing more organizations getting involved here, picking up some pretty known people in the community with a good fan base and just nice people that have a personality. And of course, the guy I'm talking about is Demaga. So congratulations to him. Of course, huge shout outs to Andrew Tomlinson, who I know personally from Cybersports Network, for hooking up Demaga with this personal sponsorship. I really hope we're going to see him in a lot of events. Check out his stream, guys. Follow him on Twitter. Check out his Facebook. All of the links are right here. I guess I'll just make it easier. So his Twitter is DemagaSC. His Twitch is MTW Demaga. His Facebook is Demaga SC. So there you go. Check out Demaga, top-notch European Zerg player, currently playing, or was playing, in the WCS Finals, which I am not going to ruin any kind of result. But yeah, Rocket picks up Demaga. Pretty exciting news. Next thing here is going to be coming in as number 2. Just quite a surprise, in my opinion. We have Libo Xenocider Chang, who is a guy I've known for a pretty good amount of time. Back when he was a little kid. He's still a little kid. He's only like 15 years old. So I can comfortably say I've known him for maybe a year now. When he was 14 years old. He is very talented. Of course, he is a North American Terran player. And he's a guy that's sort of been really wanting to join a pro team. He was on Quantic for a little bit under their academy. A little bit inactive, of course. He still has kindergarten to focus on. Of course, it's not kindergarten. I think it's like elementary school or middle school or high school or something like that, man. When I was 14, I had no idea what I was doing. But away from that, he's a really good player. And EG is a team that's known to pick up very well-established players, Korean players, and just people that want to invest their time, full-time, just to be a little bit more specific, in StarCraft 2 pro gaming. They've picked up people like Puma. Of course, Idra recently left the team. They have players like In Control, a few people that are currently living in the Evil Geniuses team, Liquid House, or people like Jaedong, people like Hero. So this is a big deal. Xenocider is not a huge name in the North American community, so they're kind of putting like a little bit of just putting their money straight up into Xenocider, hoping that he has potential, hoping he's going to have a positive mindset when it comes to improving at StarCraft 2, and you know, huge props to Evil Geniuses, and hopefully these kinds of things are going to continue happening in the North American scene. We want to grow it here. We don't want the Koreans to be the ones to completely dominate this game, which unfortunately is just happening right now. Koreans are eliminating foreigners left and right in all these different kind of tournaments. But Xenocider, Libo, congratulations, man. I'm very happy for you. Hopefully you can put in the hard work. Hopefully you can get the practice games, of course, with the team EG, and you can become one of their better players. And eventually, you know, when you're legal, you can fly to Korea and play in the Pro League or something like that. So congratulations to Xenocider. Next up is going to be coming in as number uno. Of course, that is number 1, which is the WCS 2013 Season Number 1 Finals, guys. I'm going to scroll down here just to give you a little bit of an idea of what this actually is. This is a big freaking deal. This is the tournament that people have been anticipating, the tournament that everyone is talking about on Twitter, on Facebook, on Reddit, on Team Liquid. This is huge. Of course, you guys can see the prize distribution right now. We see first place, $40,000. You do receive the WCS points, which are very important, which kind of just add up through your rankings in this tournament. Second place, $20,000. Third and fourth, you each get $10,000. 5th to 8th, $7,000. 9th to 12th, $5,000. 13th through 16th, you also get $5,000. So, hell, man, if you're coming in 16th and you barely just made it into the top 16 to be able to play in the finals in Korea, you're basically safe with $5,000. So that is a crap load of money, but you obviously had to go through a bunch of qualifiers, Premier League, Challenger League, whatever it may have been. So let's talk a little bit about the players. Hero, Alicia, SOS will be representing Protoss. For Terran, we have Ryung Alicia representing America. Of course, we have Revival representing America as well for the Zerg side. Terrans for Europe, MVP, and 4GG, of course, 4GG from Millennium. Zergs for Europe, we have Demaga, of course, a personal sponsor with Rocket. Stefano from EG, TLO from Team Liquid, and WCS Korea, we have Innovation, the second place champion for the GSL WCS Finals, which just actually ended maybe about a week ago or something like that. And of course, Zerg for Korea, we have Solki, Symbol, Roro, and Kangho, of course, formerly known as Lucira from the team Incredible Miracle. So let's talk a little bit about the results as we scroll down here to the group stages. We have Group A, Solki, Alive, TLO, and Stefano. So this group, we have 2 foreigners and 2 Koreans. And my prediction for this would have probably been Solki and Alive. So that's actually exactly what happens. You guys can see the scores. Click the show button. You guys can see the scores here. It's Solki beating Alive, TLO beating Stefano, Solki beating TLO, Alive beating Stefano, and Alive beating TLO. So pretty standard, pretty expected results. The only result that's a little bit surprising here is TLO beating Stefano, but Stefano just openly said he's not the best player when it comes to playing ZVZ. Let's go ahead and go into group number B. We have Alicia from Axiom, MVP from LGIM, we have Kang Ho from LGIM, and we have Ryung. So these 2 players, of course, very, very solid, be it Alicia and MVP, which are, in fact, the ones that did advance in this group. 2-0 for Alicia, 2-1 for MVP. We see the surprising result here is, in my opinion, Alicia against MVP and the Ryung, MVP 2-1ing Ryung. I would have expected maybe Ryung can have a chance against MVP, knowing that the best matchup he is currently at, or the best matchup he plays right now in Heart of the Swarm, and actually in Wings of Liberty, is just Terran versus Terran. Ryung is just a very, very good TVT player, man. I love watching any kind of TVT games from Ryung. Let's go into group number C. 4GG, SOS, Hero, and Symbol. 4GG, huge surprise. Looking at this group, let's all be honest here. At least I'm going to be honest. I would not expect 4GG to make it the first or the second spot. I would expect him to be third, maybe even fourth. But 4GG played such an amazing series against Hero. Very, very aggressive in the game number 2. I know game number 1 he actually went for a pretty macro game. Just quick third command center, double engineering bays. Played very, very standard, and overall just hit a very solid timing where Hero was transitioning into Templar tech, and just not the best positioning at all for Hero. A little bit sloppy in that series for the Liquid player. So 4GG beats him 2-0. SOS beats Symbol straight up 2-0. Pretty one-sided games, if I'm going to have to say it. But game number 2 was pretty close. But SOS played a very, very unique style of Protoss versus Zerg. 4GG takes 2-1 against SOS in a pretty epic best of 3 there. You guys are definitely, I recommend that series between 4GG and SOS. Game number 3 was really, really cool on Belshir Vestige. Hero takes 2-0 against Symbol, and SOS takes a pretty convincing 2-0 against Hero. Game number 1, of course, was just a proxy 2-gate straight up at the natural ramp of the Liquid player. So that's going to do it for Group C. Of course, Group D, the last group for this tournament, we have Innovation, Roro, Revival, and Dimaga. Innovation takes a 2-0 over Revival, pretty convincingly, pretty expected as well from the majority of the community. We have a 2-0 from Roro against Dimaga. Dimaga is a player that is, you know, he's very, very good. Don't get me wrong, but Roro is a Code S champion. He just won I think he won the last season of GSL in a pretty convincing way. So not a huge surprise. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 2-1 score in the favor of Roro, but Dimaga, so close, man, in that game on Neoplanet S, game number 2. Just very, very close game. That is definitely a ZVZ series I recommend you guys check out. Game number 2 between Roro and Dimaga was amazing. Of course, the next match was Innovation against Roro, 2-1 for him, 2-1 for Revival over Dimaga, and a 2-1 for Roro. Of course, pretty expected results here in this group as well. We see Innovation and Roro are going to be the ones to advance. So check out day number 2 happening tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, guys. This is going to be amazing. They are going to be going through the playoffs, which you're welcome to see right here. We have Solki against Roro, Alicia against SOS, 4GG against MVP, and Innovation against Alive. Whoa. I just realized these are all mirror matchups. That's going to be quite interesting. But we're definitely going to be guaranteed a ZVP for the semifinals and a TVT for the semifinals as well. So we have 2 Zergs, 2 Protoss, and 4 Terrans. Talk about Hellbats, talk about Widowmines. Terrans are still in it. So definitely an exciting tournament. Definitely the biggest thing happening right now in StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm. You guys are welcome to check it out. Twitch.tv/WCS_GSL. That is the cast being done by Artosis, of course, a StarCraft 2 commentator. And you have other forms of streams you can check out. You can check out the OSL, the On-Game TV stream as well, and the GOM TV secondary stream brought to you by Wolf and Caldor, of course. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for checking out the second episode of The Rundown. Hopefully you enjoyed it. These were, in my opinion, the top 5 important things to be talking about here in this episode. Episode number 3 is going to be coming out next week. Thank you guys for checking this out, and I'll see you next time.